Yeah, hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So we are on the step 2 to implement the CI/CD pipeline for the GK workload. So in the last session, you can see we created the GK cluster and we created some of the sample workload, as well as we created some of the service and exposed the containerized application port by enabling the load balancer, and that is working fine as per our expectation. So here we are on the phase two, I mean the step two, to create the repo and to clone the repo to the Google Cloud Shell, and we have to create the main py file, Docker file, as well as the cloud build YML file. Okay, so let me the Cloud Console, I mean the Google Cloud Console command line. Let me reload the page. I think this Cloud Shell is not opening for me, or it is open. Okay, let me double check. I think it was below on the page. Let me just refresh it and we can see. If it's not opening, then I can open it again. Yeah, let me activate the Cloud Shell again. So I'm creating the new directory like the CI/CD project 2023. So I'll create all the like the source, like I mean the script inside this CI/CD project 2023 directory. So first of all, we have to write main.py file. I have the source code in handy, so let me copy this. So don't worry about this code. I'll copy this code and I will mention this code in the video, so you can take the code from the video as well. So the main.py file is ready. So now I have to create Docker file. So if you see here, it is a basic applications, uh, and I have also taken this code from the internet. Okay, so here I'm just importing the library, like the module. Okay, then it is creating one applications in which we are calling this environment value. Like whenever you will open this UI, you will get the response as hello world. Okay, and this application would be run this port like 8080 port number. Now I have to create the Docker file. As this application is required or it will be executed through a Python. So instead of taking any other OS, I mean the runtime, here we're directly taking this Python runtime here, okay? And after that we are installing the Flash, like it is the module, this library is required for that, and is setting the work directory. Then we are calling or we are copy this main py file, like the main source file, to our required directory. And after that, whenever this container will be executed, I mean created, it will also executed these applications. Okay, let me copy this code here. So Docker file has been created, the main.py is created. Okay, this main file is copy inside this directory. Okay, now we have to create the cloud build YML file. But before creating the cloud build YML file, we should have the repo, because if you see the code here, this cloud inside the cloud builder git, okay, git clone, then it is my repo name. Okay, it is the source repository. But for the time being, if you see, we don't have the source repository. Okay, so from which we have to clone, so you have to create the repo first. Okay, so let me go to the cloud console. So here, source repository. Get started. So it is the external repository. If you want to integrate with the GitHub or the Bitbucket, you can integrate that. Okay, for the timing we don't have the GitHub or the Bitbucket, so I can go with the create new repository. I can keep same name like the CI/CD JKE, because I have the same code. I'm in the same code here, so I can replicate that. I will just have to update it the project name. Okay, but if you want to change it, you can also change it. Is my project name. Let me copy it because I have to update it inside the code. So in this first phase, we have to clone this repo. Okay, we have to build the image, and once build the image, we can push this image. We have to push the image to our GCR. I mean the Google Cloud Registry. And in the next phase, we have to update the workload. I mean the deployment. Okay, but till now we have the sample deployment. We have not executed any deployment as per for this image. So what I'll do, uh, let me do this in this phase. The next phase I can update it this this code for the new workload. Okay, so let me copy this because you have to clone it. No, I think I did some wrong. Okay, so let me delete that first. First, you have to do jcloud init, then we have to clone here this one. Yes, reinitialize the configuration. My account is the first one. The project is first one, CI/CD project. If you want to set the region, you can set that. Otherwise, you can keep it no. Let me set it. If you see lot of region here, so I can go with Asia South. South A 37. And after doing the Google Cloud init, we have to clone the repo. Okay. If you see whatever the repo I cloned, there is no any files inside the repo file. I have to go here cdgk. Yeah, there is no any files. Let me copy those files, like whatever the code I have already written. Let me copy from the previous location to this location. Okay. Before push this file to the repo, we have to add it first, like git add star for all. Let me do one by one. Git admin py file. Okay. Git. Then you have to commit added my main.py. Okay. Now we can push it to the repo. Let me refresh the repo here to make sure whatever the file we pushed, that should be populated here. Okay. Let me refresh the page. I think it's not opening. Let me refresh the page. You can see this file I pushed from the cloud shell. Okay. It is showing now. So now I can add all the files, git add start, all the files, commit added my all source code. Now if I push, yeah, push successfully. Let me refresh the page again. So both files are showing in my repo. Okay. So now we can create our cloud build file. Cloud build.yml. So I told, so it's the cloud builder. Okay, using the git cloud builder, it will clone this repo, and after that, in this docker file, the docker command, this, it will build the image. It will tag the image like the GCR-io, then the project name. Okay, then the image name, and the image name, then it is the tag number. Just let me change to service name to image name. Image name. So let me copy this code till push the image. Basically, this is not the hard coded. So in order to substitute, we have to substitute this value into this, okay, like my image name as well as the project ID. Okay, so let me change here. I can mention CI/CD image version 1, and also I have to hard code it with the project ID. I mean the sub it is the project ID is already hard coded. So let me change it. Okay, so the cloud build YML file has been ready. So let me save it. So if you see on the PPT, if you see the main PY file, Docker file as well as the cloud build YML file is ready to clone the repo as well as to build the image, and after build the image it can post to the GCR. Okay, so what can I do now? Let me go to the next PPT. Yeah, so here we have to create the triggering in the cloud build. Okay, in the cloud build we have to define the cloud build YML file, so that it will check the cloud build YML file to build the image, then it can post the image to the GCR. So let me go to the Google Cloud Build now. Cloud build. So it is asking to enable the cloud build API because we opened it for the first time from this project. So cloud build API has been enabled. So now we have to create the trigger. CI/CD pipe build. Okay. Let's skip with South, Asia South. Tag is not required. Push to branch. It is our repo name. You can keep branch as master. Our cloud build configuration file that is in the YML file from format. The cloud build YML, it can keep in the YML format, or you can keep it as JSON format. But YML format, like I'm comfortable to work, so I have kept as a YML format. But if you want to change to JSON, if you are comfortable to work in JSON format, you can change it. And inside this repo, okay, it is you have to define the file. Okay, my file is the cloud build YML file. Okay, so by default is coming because by default it will check the cloud build YML file. If you have keep in different file, okay, you have to change it. because according to that it will perform the like whatever the step we have mentioned inside the cloud build YML file, like to clone the repo, to build the image or to push the image. According to that it will read the file, then it will be perform the step accordingly. And if you want to approve before build also, if you can enable that, but the time being I'm not enabling that. Okay, so without approval it can be build or execute that. And service account, if you have any special account, you have dedicated account, you have already defined the required privilege to perform this, you can take that, you can change it. But if you don't change it, then it will be by default, your of like the Gmail account or like the service account would be applied here. So let me click on create. Before run this, CI/CD build, just let me check if there is any, inside the container registry. I have to check whether there is any image or not. Okay, so I'm opening the container registry first to make sure there is no any image. Or if there is an image, we have to check the name. Okay, yeah, you can see there is no any image here. Okay, and there is no any image here. It is the first image. Okay, whatever the image will be built, that will be the first image, and it will be, once you build it, it will post this GCR, then you can see here. Okay, so as we are doing this triggering for the first time, we have to execute, or we have to run it for the manually from here. Let me run it. Fail to trigger. If you are triggering, it's getting failed. I think cloud build YML file, it is not pushed to my repo. I'm in the repo file repository. Yeah, it is not here. So that's why it is trying to check the cloud build YML file, but it did not find. So that's why it did not execute at that. Okay. So let me go to this Google Cloud Shell. Let me add all the source code. Get, yeah, you can see this cloud build YML file. It is not added, right? Let me add it all. Let me commit it again. Let me post it. Yeah, as we changes in our source, now this triggering, it is not required to run it manually. I think it would be too automatic. Yeah, it got automatic, but it got failed. Let me check the error. Yeah, it's saying like your build failed because due to the quota restriction cannot run build in this region. Okay, that's fine. So let me create another trigger with a different region. Then you can see. Yeah, I think we can edit also. Let me click on edit. Instead of the Asia South, I can go with US Central one. Okay, let me save it. The build has been updated. Let me go to the history. It will not do automatic because in the source we have not changed anything, which so that it will not trigger automatic. Let me go to the triggers and we have to run it manually here. Yeah, it started. Okay, it started but not sure it would be failed or passed. Okay, let me go to the history. It's running now. So let me open it so we can see inside the build what is happening here. You can see it downloading. It is trying to build the image. Yeah, the image has been built successfully. Also, it has been pushed. The image has been pushed to the registry. Okay, I mean the container registry. So let's go to the GCR. You can see our image. Let me refresh the page. Go to setting. Yeah, go to the image. Okay, so guys, you can see we are able to do the we have to able to set up the pipeline to automate like to clone the repo or to build the image and push the image to the country registry. So that's working fine our expectation. So what we'll do in the next session, we can create some workload using the same image. Okay, and after that we can update it inside the cloud build YML file to automate that workload also. Like in case if any changes and inside the our source code, the image would be rebuilt and the it would be applied our workload. Okay, so thank you guys. We can connect in the next session for the the rest of the things. Okay, so thank you.